the Spartans.
We're both East Coast guys. We both got the same mindset, kind of the same mentality. He knows what I'm going to be. I know what he's going to be on the floor, and we just get each other going.
Us just both being point guards and playmakers, it makes it a lot easier. And we're also best friends off the court, so bringing that to the court and knowing each other makes it a lot of fun.
Walker, pull up.
A.J. Hoggard has been terrific.
They have a unique bond together. They just kind of get along. They bring a little flair, a little pizzazz, having a little cockiness, a little arrogance, a little fast twitch, East Coast style.
I mean, they bring a lot of experience. They're both really good players. They have a really good handle and can really shoot it. They bring some versatility in that way. I like the attitude and the energy that they bring every day.
What you know about their life? You look inside my veins, all you gonna see is ice.
Us East Coast guys, we got to stick together. Yeah, that's definitely where the bond comes from.
We're just trying to bring that East Coast swag to the Midwest and just come out here and win some games for the fans.
Walker and Hoggard have been the catalyst for Michigan State's resurgence this season, increasing their combined scoring by 5 points and their three-point shooting by 18%. Walker's 54% mark, that leads the Big Ten over the course of league play. Our friend, our former colleague, Steve Lavin, loved the line, sharing the sugar, right? And that's essentially what those two did last season.
Yeah, last year, if you remember this team, Michigan State, they started with Tyson Walker as the starting point guard. They would bring in A.J. Hoggard off the bench. And about, 3/4 through the year, Rob, they realized that, you know what? A.J. Hoggard is probably our best option at the point guard. And why am I bringing that up now? Because it's important. They came into this year with that stuff already ironed out. A.J. Hoggard is the better pick-and-roll passer and decision maker. He's also the bigger of the two guards, so he takes advantage of mismatches. Tyson Walker is clearly the better scorer overall, in my opinion. He's clearly the better perimeter shooter as well. And at the end of games, Rob, Izzo has a great opportunity to go to either Hoggard or Tyson Walker for jumpers, which is really a luxury. And I believe if this team is going to reach their potential, go deep into March, the strength of this team is this perimeter duo right here. They will go as far as those two guys take.
And that strength will be challenged by one of the best defenses in the country tonight. Coach, with more on that.
That's right, Rob. Look, this Rutgers team is built on defense, and Michigan State will be tested tonight. Coach Pico's done a great job of instilling that into his program. They play with intense effort. They play with extreme physicality, and they play with great connection. Let's take a look at a couple plays to show you what I'm talking about here. Now, watch here in the pick and roll, the effort by Derek Simpson to get over the ball screen, the re-screen, right? And Antoine Woolfolk, right, with his effort to recover and do it again. But here's the connection. Paul McCahey underneath, rotating as the help defender, and then the physicality bumping Zed Key 4 or 5 feet off the lane, right? And now look at Woolry commit and wall up, force a tough contested two. You'll see it again here. Derek Simpson up the court now, full court pressure. Coach changes his defenses, but the effort there to get over the top of screens on shooters by McConnell, right, by McKay, and then the physicality in the post by Omari, fighting in the post, and then the connection, talking out the switch. Caleb McConnell getting the steal there, and that is only 2 possessions, right? Michigan State is going to have to face that for about 75 possessions tonight. So the task on those guards, right, is mighty to try to find good opportunities against a stingy Rutgers defense.
Once again, Coach talking about the defense. Come on, Coach. Some offense, man. The Aussie Mawat-Nag, career-high 15 points in Sunday's OT win over the Buckeyes. He has the green and white of the Spartans tonight. Michigan State, Joey Hauser making their way out onto the court. 12-6, 4-5 in conference play. Sparty and Rutgers coming up. Izzo feels the same way after this one is done. Rob, Casey, Laval back here with you. This week, the first time Rutgers has been ranked this season. Michigan State, they haven't been ranked since late November. As for tonight, the three-point line is critical. Why?
Yeah, because these teams are super physical, Rob. I think there's going to be a scrum in the middle of the paint. Elbows are flying, right? And somebody on this show has got to talk about offense. I know defense wins championships, but offense wins audiences, and that's all we really care about here at Fox and FS1. But in Rutgers' 2 losses, okay, they've made a combined 10 threes, okay, and they're shooting just 29%. They got to be better than that on the road. I put the number at 7 or 8 threes. If Rutgers can do that, they're going to win this game.
It's the guards from Michigan State. Casey hit on it earlier. Hoggard and Walker, can they figure out this Rutgers defense? Caleb McConnell will have the assignment of chasing around Tyson Walker, who had 30 points last game. Right? AJ, tremendous in the pick and roll. Can he pick apart this Rutgers defense, find easy opportunities for his teammates? Easier said than done. They're going to have to be surgical tonight to pick this defense apart and find some good shots.
You know what's interesting? In past matchups between these two, we would say a great opportunity for Rutgers to prove themselves, get a quality win. And now it's Michigan State saying,
you got a number 23 next to
no
that
number,
name.
no number next to Sparty.
Number.
By the way, Rutgers, you know how many wins they have in East Lansing?
0.
0. Yeah, let's take you out to the Breslin Center in East Lansing. For the call, Brandon Gaudin and our good friend Jim Jackson.
All right, Rob, a big night in the Big Ten, and we get it started in East Lansing. The Rutgers Scarlet Knights, newly ranked at number 23, taking on the Michigan State Spartans. Up to the minute Big Ten standings, everybody's looking up at Purdue, who just beat Michigan State. Rutgers right behind the Boilermakers, and the Michigan State having lost a couple in a row. They sit at 4-3 in league play. And with that, we say hello from courtside, everybody. Brandon Gaudin, Jim Jackson, happy to be with you. Rutgers, one of the hottest teams in the country. They've won 7 of 8 in the rankings for the first time in 2 years. But, Jim, they've never won here 0-6 at the Breslin Center.
And the challenge is going to be this, defensively locking in, because Michigan State loves to get up and down the court, in particular at home. But this Rutgers team has done an outstanding job all year of kind of negating that. All 18 of their opponents have been held under their scoring average, which means this team really loves to play defense.
Yeah, they're one of the best defensive teams in the country. Let's get a look at the starting lineups. Cam Spencer, Big Ten Player of the Week. Over 20 points the last 2 games for Michigan State. Keep in mind, still no Malik Hall, their leader, one of their veterans, out for the 10th game this season with a left leg injury. Officials tonight, James Breeding, DJ Karstensen, Michael Irving. 14th meeting in this series. Michigan State won the first 11, but Rutgers has won the last 2. But as I said, they have never won in this building, and off we go.
Can Rutgers make shots early? Offensively, they struggled at time, and I love that play. It's right on point. Instead of a jump shot, it was a quick pick and roll. Omori able to finish with a nice dunk inside.
And then a miss on the other end for Jaden Akins. For Omori, by the way, that's his 40th dunk of the season. 5th most in college basketball.
And keep in mind, he led the nation last year in dunks, so heading and trending towards that direction once again.
Junior, who's just incredibly athletic and gifted. Here is Cam Spencer, reigning conference player of the week. Omori going to try the 3, but off the mark. That's not his game.
It's not, but it's something as he's tried to expand. A beautiful transition defense that time by Rutgers to get back. Mauser had an easy layup, and you love the pace in which Rutgers is playing with right now. The reason being, sort of like Michigan State, you don't play against a set defense. You're able to get out and run, but it started from getting back defensively. Now you had numbers on the offensive end.
Tom Izzo frustrated. He's looking at his defense like, how are we letting Cliff Omori get right to the rim in transition? Michigan State team that has lost a couple in a row to Illinois, and then a tough one here on Martin Luther King Day against Purdue. Hauser, the senior, yes.
And I think it would be huge. I mean, huge is and even bigger than that. That Joey is able to hit shots early and from deep. That keeps the court spread, forces Rutgers defense to be honest on the perimeter. That opens up some driving lanes for Hogarth, also Walker.
Omori hook shot short, offensive board from Mawat Mag. And Mulcahy on the reload. They say his foot was on the line. It's a 2. Rutgers with a 6-3 lead here a couple minutes in. Again, Michigan State without Malik Hall. Trying to go up top. Akins can't finish it. On the other end, an alley-oop that is completed. for McConnell.
And what's the common denominator here with this Rutgers early offense? Some easy shots, non-resistance. Attacking this Michigan State team quickly, authoritatively, able to finish inside with ease.
Sissoko short. A really good start on the road for the Scarlet Knights.
It really is.
Mag from inside the arc, in and out. Rutgers 5-2 in league play, the only team to hand Purdue a loss this season, and they've won 7 of 8. There's Hauser, can't get his second.
Mag right there with a good contested. Hauser was open, he had his feet set, but at the end able to probably get into his sight lines and dissuade that shot from going in.
There's McConnell, reigning conference defensive player of the year, but he can do it on this end as well. Hauser with a rebound. Hogard kicks it out to Akins for 3. Off the mark. This Rutgers defense, as you were talking about, one of the best in the country, 3rd ranked according to Ken Pop in the entire nation.
Think about this, they're plus 12.9 points in scoring margin. In the last 8 games, teams have only even scored about 60 points a game relative to their 73. So this is a veteran-laden team who understand defense is going to carry through, and particularly you play tough teams on the road. Northwestern, also Purdue, able to win in those venues.
Yeah, they've been doing great both home and away. Here's Mag in the lane, and knocked out of bounds. It will stay on this end. And Steve Pikiell, who's taken Rutgers to back-to-back NCAA tournaments for the first time since the mid-'70s, and on pace certainly to take him to a 3rd straight big dance.
You could do that. I mean, they have the makings. I don't believe it won't happen. It's a matter of where they finish in the Big Ten race in regards to the regular season, and ultimately want to get a Big Ten tournament and continue to advance. Once you do get to the NCAA tournament, a lot of work to be done, but they have the makings of a tough team down the stretch.
No question. And they've got a lot of veterans. This is one of them. McConnell from outside.
And when he's knocking down that shot at 21% on the season, that just adds value to the offense. But once again, little or no resistance on, 1, passing the basketball by Rutgers, 2, now open shots by Scarlet Knights.
On this end, Michigan State, cold start, just 1 of 6 from the floor. Down inside, good spin, nice reverse, the freshman Jackson Kohler.
Beautiful footwork, and Kohler has some moves on the post now. He's not afraid of the challenge that time. Or he took it for granted that he probably can guard him one-on-one, and Kohler able to utilize the baseline for an opportunity.
Tom Izzo's been playing Kohler more, the true freshman from American Fork, Utah. Says he's improving every day. Late in the shot clock here. Spencer not fooled by the end zone, and he drops it off to Mag, who puts it up and in, and he's fouled. Timeout on the floor.
Well, early in this game, it's been the offense by the Rutgers Scarlet Knights that has allowed this team to fuel this 7-8 point lead. This is an area, if they continue to knock shots, it's going to be a tough evening for Michigan State and Sparty.
Well, the Hall of Famer Tom Izzo not happy with the start for the Spartans, Jim, on either side.
Well, we talked about the Rutgers defense set the tone. You see a little slip screen by Morey to be able to get inside, then in transition. You don't match up, you don't talk, you don't stop the ball. You're going to get beat. And once again, Cam Spencer in transition for the lob to McConnell. So you have 4 points, fast break points, 8 points in the paint. Perfect start offensively for Rutgers. Now let's see what adjustments Tom Izzo and the Spartans make defensively.
First, Mawot Mag trying to complete a 3-point play. Mawot Mag, a junior, known for his defense, but Sunday against Ohio State in the win. Career high 15 points, 8 rebounds, and a big 3 late to secure the win. And he's going to get a breather as Andre Hyatt replaces him.
Well, the beautiful thing about scoring baskets for Rutgers, even though Michigan State loves to push it up quick, you're able to set your defense. And that's the best way to keep Michigan State out of transition offense, where they can score some easier baskets that way.
We gave you the defensive numbers, but Steve Pikiell says this is the best defensive team he's had in his 7 seasons at Piscataway. But they give up a 3 to Tyson Walker.
A beautiful play drawn up out of bounds by Tom Izzo to give Walker to be able to free himself along the baseline. And let's not discount the pass that was put right into his shooting pocket by Trey Holloman. Very important aspect of shooting the basketball is where you receive the pass.
Holloman, a freshman, he's defending the ball right now. There's Caleb McConnell. Good pass. Everything but the finish for Hyatt. Walker coming off the 30-point game in the loss against Purdue. What a show he put on, he and Zach Edey in that game here at the Breslin Center.
They did. The backcourt kind of did what they needed to do. Kind of looked at guarding Zach Edey. Get yours. Maybe we'll take some opportunities away from his teammates. Not enough.
Holloman, nice move to the rim. Dean Reber hasn't been playing much as of late. Kicks it out to McConnell. Shot clock at 5. McConnell, offensive.
Well, a lot of times when you have a mismatch, you try to overpower a smaller opponent. And that's what McConnell did right there. Instead of utilizing some speed and strength to shoot over the top, you play right into the hands of the smaller defender. And Holloman, after making the pass to Walker in the corner, able to find some daylight down the lane and finish right in the paint.
And then a steal. Spencer swipes it. McConnell offensive rebound. But Hogard ultimately ends up with it. Kohler inside. That was freshman to freshman. In the corner, Hyatt, no. And Michigan State a chance to add on to a 7-0 run. They made their last 4 shots. Trying to make it 5 in a row. Off the mark from Brooks. Reber wants it in the post. Now here's the transfer from Loyola, Maryland. Man, is he good.
You know what? It was a good stunt that time by Joey Hauser on the elbow that forced Cam Spencer to kind of retreat, but he's such a dynamic offensive player in regards to his footwork and shooting. He was able to reverse that and knock a little fall away 15-foot jump shot. Beautiful pass.
Great pass and a lay-in for Jackson Kohler, but credit the feed to Hogard.
But you notice the Michigan State offense is moving quicker. The ball and decision makings are a lot crisper and faster. Hence, you're able to get more efficient shots. Excellent pass inside Hogard.
Hogard second in the conference in assists. And now a turnover as Mulcahy dragged his pivot foot. And we go to the under-12 media timeout.
Well, you return the favor with the favor. It was Rutgers early on getting into the paint, out in transition, and now Kohler able to benefit from running the court not once, but twice here off a little dribble penetration. Hogard inside for 2. Michigan State down.
He trimmed it to 2. Tom Izzo never shies away from a tough schedule. And they have faced a lot of ranked teams this year. And another one today in 23rd ranked Rutgers. But you think of those early games, they had 2 long West Coast road trips. So it's been a gauntlet for Tom Izzo and company.
It's funny how the narrative has changed, though, is that when he did it in the past, it was looked upon as a negative in some aspects because you lost those games early on. But he looked at it as a test, for one, his team to kind of understand who's out there in the world of basketball outside the Big Ten. But 2, playing against different styles that you may face later in the NCAA tournament. Now every team is doing that in their non-conference schedule to kind of test themselves against the best across the country in different conferences.
As someone asked him if he regretted the schedule, he said absolutely not. The only thing was we didn't have a lot of time to work on our schedule. But they're looking good right now. Hogarth from 3, and Michigan State has their first lead.
Well, to your point, the challenge is practice time. When you play a lot of games consecutively, the practice time is what's going to suffer, then hence the bad habits that you want to correct. You're not able to get in the gym and work on.
Right now they're on a 12-2 run over the last 4 minutes. Mulcahy trying to stop it. Great spin.
Beautiful use of what I would call the field process. He filled Hogarth that was guarding him, taking away the middle, set him up with a couple of dribbles when able to take the baseline.
Okay, he's hit his first 2 shots, and he's been cold the last few games. Good sign for Rutgers. Hogarth cannot hit 2 in a row. Derek Simpson, first time into the game, and he turns it over.
Excellent hands by Tyson Walker that time, able to pluck that away, pop it up in the air. And again, didn't get the steal, but he got the deflection that led to a turnover. Active hands that time by the senior guard.
Taking advantage of the young freshman Simpson from Mount Laurel, New Jersey. 3rd turnover for the Scarlet Knights. Hogarth turned around, nobody was there, but he missed the jumper. Look at Sissoko.
Some long athletes inside with Sissoko and Amore inside. That time Sissoko, a little bit too much strength on that putback, not able to finish.
Tom Izzo took Sissoko out early after a couple of miscues defensively. Walker's not having any miscues defensively. Another steal for him.
Sissoko has he on him inside, but now we're able to switch back.
Ooh, too hot to handle. Right past Sissoko, a turnover, and then a foul on Jaden Akins.
Michigan State foul on number 3, Jaden Akins.
Jimmy, probably a good idea, but that thing was going in there at 90 miles an hour.
The intent was good. The execution didn't fit the intent. But one good thing about this Michigan State team, there's a lot of good things, but this year the turnovers have been down. In particular, the self-inflicted ones that caused a lot of headaches and probably lost some games for Tom Izzo and the squad in the past. He's been more cognizant to get on his team about really valuing the basketball, not having those mental lapses and mistakes that leads to opportunities for his opponents.
Those numbers will be tested today because Rutgers top 5 in the country at forcing turnovers.
Oh, got him with the body.
And that's another one, this time on Walker, just his first.
He got him with the hip. If you see it at the end of the play, Walker uses his hip underneath to kind of create some contact. And watch Walker right here, does a great job of kind of sliding his feet, but watch right there. That's a foul, his hip and his chest. So I think Tom Izzo was unhappy with the hook before the foul was called.
3 fouls on Michigan State, just 1 on Rutgers. Simpson with a blow-by on the baseline. Steve Pico calls him one of the most athletic guards I've ever recruited. You see why. Akins, ooh, a little teardrop. Here comes Spencer. Cam Spencer, stop and pop, in and out. Offensive board, and Hyatt will go to the line.
Well, you talk about the athleticism of Derek Simpson. This is an outstanding read right here. Ripped through. Tyson Walker was kind of out of position that time, and Carson Cooper wasn't on the back line in the position to be able to slide over, and it really influenced that layup opportunity.
And now Hyatt, second year at Rutgers after 3 at LSU. Guy who Steve Pico recruited out of high school, took an official visit to Piscataway, but opted to go down to LSU. Things didn't work out there, but he has found a home in that Rutgers jersey.
Oh, he has, and that's the 4th offensive rebound for Rutgers. Keep in mind, this is one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country in regards to the rate of missed shots. Michigan State, especially when you're moving and shifting defense, you've got to find the body.
Solomon getting a lot of early minutes tonight in this game. Cross-court skip, finding Akins. Air ball.
Akins has really struggled from behind the three-point line, only 0 for 4 deep in his last 2 games. Had 9 straight games with a three-pointer before that, so sometimes it can leave you, but you have to be able to step up, take some high-quality shots, knowing that it will go in.
High and little flat on his three-pointer. Walker in rhythm. Another one misfired. Strong rebound for Amori, who averages a double-double. Michigan State had gotten hot. Now they've gone cold. They missed their last 6 shots.
I noticed, too, the last 6 shots, a little bit more jump shots.
Yes.
They got hot by doing this, getting in transition or secondary break, getting to the basket.
Just like that.
Hey, Brandon.
Yes, sir.
I ain't the smartest, but I ain't the dumbest either. And I understand the closer you get to the basket, the more successful you can be. And Michigan State, as good as any team in transition, off a steal, able to finish.
I have moderate to severe Crohn's disease. Now
let's play. McClay has Hogard on the paint, but he identified Mady Sissoko inside early to see exactly where he's going to commit to. As soon as and made his move, McKay, he spent base, had enough footwork to shot going in.
Steve Peichel says Mulcahy is one of the smartest players he's ever coached, and he likes to post those smaller guards because 213, he's got some good shot.
Remember a lot of success that Wisconsin had at posting their guards. Villanova does the same thing, inverting the guards to be able to bring the bigs out of the paint. Now, it may hurt you sometimes in transition defense if you're not set, but it is an advantage for teams that possess guards that can score down low.
The horn is stuck, in case you haven't noticed at home, and they can't get it off. That's the constant noise. So until they can get that off, we are in a delay.
Have you ever had that happen to you?
No, I've had the lights go out quite a few times in an arena, but I've never had a stuck horn. Have you?
No. And unfortunately, I'm not mechanically inclined enough to know how to fix the thing except for unplugging it.
Well, that's what I do. Anytime something doesn't work with a device, it's like, well, have you turned it off? Have you unplugged it, right? Restart? Maybe that's what they need to do.
But I wonder if you unplug it, does it affect the scoreboard and everything like that? Everything has to be reset.
Then we have a big power outage. We'll leave it to the smarter people to figure it out. We've got Jim Jackson here at the Breslin Center for Rutgers and Michigan State. Rutgers having won 7 of 8. They got into the top 25 this week for the first time since February of 2021. Remember, they handed Purdue their only loss, and that was at Mackey Arena. Got a Michigan State team that after a 4-1 start to league play has 2 tough losses. And remember, they're without Malik Hall for an indefinite amount of time with that left leg injury, Jimmy, and that's a big blow to the Spartans.
Well, 6-5 without Malik Hall in the lineup. That tells you a lot right there. And the reason why is not the scoring, but the ability on the defensive end, guarding probably 4 positions. Excellent rebounder. He lengthens the rotation that can be used by Tom Izzo, and his competitive nature fuels the fire, and the leadership on the court. So it's a number of different items that you check off that when Malik Hall is not in the lineup that are absent from Michigan State.
There he is. They thought after he re-injured that leg in Illinois, he might be done for the year. Tom Izzo did say a couple of days ago the specialist took a look at it, and the results were not that bad. They're hoping to get him back. They're just not sure when.
So it's more of a stress reaction.
Yeah.
Which completely understand, but for a young man, you love to see him in the lineup, develop the continuity with the team. Listen, I cover a lot of NBA games, and a lot of teams are dealing with that same issue, in particular with their superstar players that missed a number of games. No different on the college level, which is shortened a little bit because of the number of games. So now coaches have to figure out ways to manipulate the lineups with some of the better players, and this is not a new issue, but it seems like it's more relevant the last few years.
Yeah, no question. Well, the horn is still going off, so we're going to step aside as they try to get this sorted out. Timeout for a delay that we've never had before. We'll be back to East Lansing in a moment.
To the bucket. Oh! Big time basketball right there. Oh, shot out of a cannon. Bring the house down. Can you believe this? Talk about nuggets. What a play. How about that? Wow. None better than this. That's what I'm talking about.
Iowa, Ohio State, Saturday at 2 Eastern on Fox.
Well, we had a horn delay of almost 4 minutes, but good news, the horn is silent and we are ready to resume basketball. Well, there you go. You can check that off your bucket list, Jim.
I got it. I've seen a lot of things, that one. First time, over 17 years, never had a horn start.
Tyson Walker, senior Long Island native, went to high school in Queens and then New Hampshire. Steps to the line here. And completes the three-point play that, again, started over 4 minutes ago. McConnell passed up a good look for a great look, but Spencer missed it.
Well, Michigan State got away with that because Walker left Spencer in the corner thinking there was going to be a switch situation on that down screen.
And Spencer is a 47% three-point shooter, one of the best in the league.
That's the reason why he was called Big Ten Player of the Week with those wins over Northwestern and Ohio State, because of his accuracy, ability to knock down shots in clutch situations as well.
Cross-court skip to Walker. Here's Spencer again. He missed again. McConnell tracking down the rebound, sets his feet. And it falls right to Spencer. And a foul on the floor against the Spartans.
Yeah, right there. Spartans in good position, but it's the tenacity from Rutgers that allows the play to be not only extended once, but twice by 2 offensive rebounds. And this is the challenge you have, long shots. If you don't put a body on somebody from Rutgers in the red jersey, this is what happens. And Amori that time didn't get the rebound, but because of his activity, he was able to keep it alive.
Tough thing for Michigan State, that's on Walker, his second. So he goes to the bench and McConnell kisses it off the glass. But Walker has 9 points. He also has 3 steals in the first half. That's a big second foul.
It'd be interesting, too, to see, being Walker as a senior, if Tom Izzo, the trust that he has in him, brings him back in for a short stint, maybe a couple minutes.
We'll see, because there's a lot of time left. Probably will be dictated by how this score goes.
That's right.
Nice shot by Joey Hauser.
And if you can do that, Hauser, keep this game within balance, 1 or 2 points to take the lead. There's no need to bring Tyson Walker back in the game.
Amori had a couple dunks early. He's been quiet since. A great pass there. Boy, Spencer's cold. A foul on the floor, though, on Hauser, and Rutgers continues to wreak havoc on the offensive glass, Jim.
And that offensive rebound was created because Amori, because he had deep post position. That time, I think it was Joey Hauser guarding Mag, had to inch over a little bit. And once that cross-court pass came over, and Joey's right there, Mag got on the inside of him, able to get that offensive rebound.
After that offensive board by McConnell, it's now 8-1 in that category in favor of Rutgers.
And with that, it's 9 second chance points as well for Rutgers. So doing what they do best, kind of like Houston. Houston does the same thing, maybe not a great outside perimeter shooting team, but their offensive rebounding rate allows them to gobble up nice percentage of those and convert those into opportunities.
So Rutgers now in the bonus, but McConnell misses the front end. And taken away by the reigning Conference Defensive Player of the Year, and he finishes on the other end. And with that steal, he passes his old teammate Geo Baker, goes into 4th place all-time in the Rutgers record book.
Great company to be a part of, and that time it was more so his anticipation, but it was the, I would say, soft pass by A.J. Hogarth right here. See, in between, and that's a soft pass. Did he get hit from behind? Maybe, but you have to be strong with the ball. Because anytime that McConnell is lurking, you got to ensure that that pass is there. Maybe use a pump fake to ensure that the pass can get to your teammate.
181st steal of his career. Knocked out of bounds, 7 on the shot clock. Tom Izzo's trying some different combinations. Number 43, Jason Whiten's out there the last couple of minutes. He hasn't played in 5 games.
Figuring out, too, one, how to steal some minutes for your core group who's going to play a lot of minutes. You can do that with timeouts. You can do that inserting players to provide a little bit of rest without losing a lot of momentum on the court.
There's the floor general, A.J. Hogarth. Just going to have to heave it up. Oh, he knocks it down. Hyatt drives, rejected by Monty Sissoko. Our final timeout of the first half. We've already had 7 lead changes. We expected a good one, and we're getting a good one.
Edey and 3rd-ranked Purdue hit the road in Minnesota. Michigan and Maryland look to gain some traction in a key Big Ten matchup. Plus, we're going to look ahead to Indiana taking on Illinois in our 2nd game of our triple header tonight. Brandon, Jim, we'll see you guys at the break.
All right, Rob, a lot of great Big Ten hoops going on tonight here. Michigan State up a deuce. You know, neither one of these teams makes a lot of 3-pointers. So far tonight, Rutgers 1 of 9, but Michigan State, Jim, 5 of 11.
As a result, when they made their run to get back in this game, it was paint points. They were pushing. So that opened up an opportunity for them to get some easier looks at the basket. Now, Hogarth's last 3 wasn't easy. He felt confident. He was able to get it up and in, but that helped balance, I think, the deficit for them as they started early. They're not going to rely on that, but if Michigan State can knock down those 3s, makes it a tougher task, of course, for Rutgers to walk out of here with a W.
Hogarth's hit 2 of the 5, and he came in only hitting 11 threes all season. Okay, he out of the timeout, needs some help. Instead, he's just going to fade away. Rebound, Michigan State had it. And then a foul on Spencer.
Rutgers foul on number 10, Cam Spencer. His first.
Probably not the shot that you draw up off the timeout. And sometimes even when you draw up the play for a particular individual, doesn't mean you have to shoot the shot. Okay, he probably could have kicked it back out, repost, and maybe got a better look at it.
Quick breather for Cam Spencer after picking up his first foul. Rutgers just 4 team fouls. Michigan State 7. Here's Jackson Kohler. He had 6 points early off the bench. Pass nearly stolen. Hauser gets loose. Yes. Now Caleb McConnell blocks. Jump ball. The arrow will send it the other way. Great defense by Jaden Akins and a good shot by Hauser last possession.
Well, watch on the backside as Hauser navigates the screen right here. McConnell gets caught by Omori right there. And at the last second, it was Paul McKay who tried to contest it. That's the 6th three-pointer of the night. Look, against Purdue, Michigan State was 6 for 19.
Different story here so far tonight, and Hauser already has 8. Hogard is going to draw the contact in the first foul on the big man, Cliff Omori.
Foul on 11, Clifford Omori. That's his first personal and 5th team foul on the Scarlet Knights.
Been a game of many runs. Each team has kind of had some cold spurts, and now it's Michigan State on a 6-0 run.
At the right time, Michigan State one foul away from being in the penalty. You want to be able to carry that momentum as they've done so far into halftime, despite starting off slow.
Akins gets a great look and knocks it down. 9-0 run. Timeout, Rutgers.
Patience in their offensive sets has allowed Michigan State to get some high-quality shots and underneath out of bounds, and then it's Akins able to free himself again. The excellent pass by Hogard to put it right into the shooting pocket adds value as to close out the half. What you're talking about all the time, Brent. How do you close it out? What kind of momentum do you take? Still, it's 2 minutes left in the game. Rutgers can respond, but Michigan State has done an excellent job for spread, finding teammates, putting the passes on target, and when you do that, and you got a special shooter, a player like Hogard, you can make some moves and extend the lead, and that's exactly what Sparty has been doing.
Their 7 3-pointers have come from 4 different players, and they've opened it up to their largest lead of the night at 34-26. So now you turn it over to Rutgers here. This becomes a key final 2:05 in this first half. What could Steve Pikiell's team be doing differently?
Well, they've had some opportunities on the offensive end in regards to offensive rebound and some good shots. But the patience has to go back on their end because early on, the quick movements in their half-court set got Omori a couple dunks. You got to get back to that. The last few possessions, it became more standing a little bit. The ball hasn't moved as freely and quickly. Let's see if that changes.
So much experience out there for Rutgers. Every player on the floor is either a junior or a senior. McConnell playing in his 128th college game tonight. Now Hyatt backs his way in, blocked by Kohler. McConnell on the reload. Rutgers 2 of their last 13. Hauser trying to add to a 9-0 run right now. He cannot. But Michigan State gets it back.
Excellent hustle by Hauser that time to poke it away and keep the ball alive, and the shot clock for Michigan State didn't reset.
Yeah, James Breeding realized it, so the officials will go over and get that fixed with just 1:14 remaining in the half.
Well, you notice a difference too, but on that Hyatt shot, Kohler was in the middle of the lane. But Hyatt didn't recognize that. Remember, McKay had that same situation with Omori, but he utilized the spin based on, you gotta have recognition, knowing the paint would be crowded a little bit. So that was just excellent defense that time inside by Michigan State.
Rutgers is on a scoring drought of over 3 minutes. Trying to regroup here before hitting intermission. Again, they've won 7 of their last 8. Now let's see if this shot hit the rim. Should the clock have reset? No.
No, it didn't. But did, and no one had possession.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Was there a change of possession?
No, so it's going to stay at 7. Good officiating that time to clear it up. Rather be safe than sorry. Check it out. Easy call to make.
Brooks gets it into Hogard. Hogard cuts inside. No whistle. And the shot clock is going to expire. Because again, the ball never hit the rim.
It's Rutgers basketball.
And to say Tom Izzo wanted a foul there would be an understatement.
Well, the question is, from the official's point of view, and this tough angle from where we're sitting, did Amari go straight up and down? Because if he did, then the contact was initiated by Hogarth, and it's not a foul. From the angle that we're sitting at, I couldn't see it, if he came down with his hands or not.
Counts as a Michigan State turnover. Each team has 5 of those here in the half. Okay, great pass to Amari. So that stops the 9-0 run here. Final 40 seconds. And Tom Izzo had that use it or lose it timeout, and he's going to take it right here with 33.5 remaining.
Well, we'll go back and let's take a look closer to see if there was actually a foul committed, or was this the right call by the officials. Amari here, straight up and down, verticality. To me, it is contact. The verticality part, when Hogarth tried to avoid the contact right here, Amari straight up in the air. Now, if he reaches down and creates that contact with the reach, and I know fans at home are going to say, what's body contact, but if Amari goes straight up in the air, Hogarth comes into him, that's not a defensive foul, unless he reaches down and causes some other kind of contact.
Rutgers only 5 fouls. The only player that really is in foul trouble was Tyson Walker, picked up 2 at the 5:30 mark and had to go to the bench. But really, since then, Michigan State has played even better.
Well, they figured out a way to score the basketball against this tough defense with Rutgers, okay? Patient, but then making the right decision, not turning the basketball over, lends itself to getting some high-quality shots, and that's what we've seen from Michigan State to end the half.
19 to shoot. Here's Hogarth, second in the league in assists. He's got 3 in the first half. Brooks baseline, yes. Shot clock off. Final attempt here for the Scarlet Knights. Paul Mulcahy down the lane, draws a foul.
Crafty.
That's a good word to describe him.
Not the quickest, but was able to beat Hogarth to a spot, cut off the angle of Hogarth getting back. Watch right here. Not quick, but the angle getting his shoulder by Hogarth, and Hogarth, that's a situation where you're older player. He's falling away from the basket. Force him just to take a tough shot. Don't reach down.
It is a 2-shot foul, not a 1-and-1 situation. Anything right now for Mulcahy to see the ball go through the net. I mentioned, Jim, last 3 games from inside the arc, just 3 of 21. That's not like him.
But sometimes during the course of the season, Brandon, you know, you go through those shooting slumps, whether that's behind the three-point line, you can't make free throws, you can't make layups. You just have to have the mindset and confidence that it'll turn around and stay with it.
That one pops out and back in. Hogarth tries to get all the way to the rim. And that is how the first half concludes. Michigan 6. 7 lead changes, but the final 4 minutes, pretty good for Michigan State.
The way you want to end the half, it didn't start out the way you wanted to. You made adjustments. You felt the pressure from Rutgers in the defense and what they can bring to the table. Once Tom Izzo was able to settle his team down, they kind of repaid the Rutgers Scarlet Knights a little bit with their own medicine of going inside, and then that opened it up for the three-point ball.
Michigan State has never lost to Rutgers in this building. 6-0, trying to get to 7-0. Well, they're halfway there. When we get back, we'll toss it out to Los Angeles for the halftime report. Stay tuned.
Third-ranked Purdue at Minnesota. Zach Edey averages 2 blocks a game. Guess how many blocks he has already?
2. But here's the crazier stat, Rob. Zach Edey has more blocks than fouls this season. Think about that. More blocks than fouls. Come on, man. That's ridiculous.
Purdue shooting 50% from the floor, an early, comfortable lead on the road. Michigan at Maryland. Kobe Buffkin coach with the bucket.
Yeah, Michigan's going to need more of this from Kobe Buffkin. to add to what Jet Howard and Hunter Dickinson brings to the table. We had 20 points last game against Northwestern.
Jameer Young, game high 8, Terps up 10 currently. We're going to stay in the Big Ten for the second game of our FS1 triple header. Indiana, Illinois, the Illini going for their 5th straight win. That one followed by number 5 UCLA on the road at Arizona State. The Bruins in the midst of a 13-game winning streak. The Hoosiers, they snapped a 3-game skid over the weekend with a ranked victory over Wisconsin. In the last couple of weeks, the next star at IU has begun to emerge.
Jalen Hood-Schifino. He's really starting to figure things out. He's the 5-star freshman. And unfortunately for Indiana fans, it took a foot injury to senior guard Xavier Johnson last month to really unlock Hood-Schifino's potential. When the freshman was playing alongside Xavier Johnson, he was only averaging 9 points on 35% shooting. Since the injury, Hood-Schifino, he's just taken over this team in the backcourt. 19 points a game on 55% shooting. Of course, more minutes equals more shots, but it's the efficiency, Rob, for a player of his, youth that has been really impressive to me.
Illinois, impressive as well as of late, 4-game winning streak. They are on the cusp of returning to the top 25. That one coming up later on FS1. Right now, though, it's Rutgers and Michigan State. Caleb McConnell, he's got 9, but number 23 is down 6.
In three-point shooting, big difference. Michigan State averages 7 a game. They hit 7 in the first half to lead number 23, Rutgers. Back at the Breslin Center, Brandon Gaudin and Jim Jackson with you. So Michigan State had won 7 in a row, 2 tough losses, Illinois, Purdue. Good first half, but what do you think? Second half adjustments for both sides?
For Rutgers, what was successful early were quick hitting plays. They were able to get Amore sliding down the lane, defensively able to get stops and then get out in transition and score. Once the ball settled in half-court-wise, they weren't as effective against this Michigan State team. I think for Michigan State, it was points in the paint that opened up the three-point shooting. I don't think you fall in love with that if you're Michigan State. But if the opportunity is there, you step right up with confidence that you can knock that shot in.
Always such a great atmosphere at the Breslin Center, especially with the ISZone back. It's just not the same when they're gone for not spring break, but winter break.
Well, I tell you what, when I had a Michigan game, they brought the students back a day early, allowed them to check in for that reason alone. To have the crowd influence the game, and Amore inside with 2 opportunities and this relentless pursuit of the ball.
And then he's going to draw a foul against Michigan State.
You know what's interesting about that? You were talking about at halftime Amore not being effective later in the game. Well, they come right out to him in the post. I'd love to see this junior kind of develop his inside game in regards to a nice little jump hook. We know he can pound the ball and jump, but a nice little jump hook inside would make him much more effective as a post-up player.
He and Zach Edey are the only 2 Big Ten players who average a double-double, but they're very different players.
Offensive-wise, Zach Edey, you can give him a steady diet of post-up opportunities inside. Amore is not quite like that.
Sissoko knocked that out of bounds, so it stays with Rutgers, and Michigan State's defensive rebounding woes continue. But Cam Spencer's just 1 of 8, Jim.
But now, look, it's been partially Michigan State's defense. He's had some good wide-open looks, but not able to knock them in. And speaking of which, I mean, Amore does so much work before the shot goes up. That allows him to carve out a space to be able to be an effective offensive rebounder.
Tom Izzo just told Jackson Kohler to get into the game for Sissoko, who's having trouble right now handling Amore. We saw that in the first half as well. Hauser on the baseline. They're going right back down to that well. On the baseline, a foul. Hauser hacking Mag, who was just kind of roaming behind the defense.
When we go back to the previous play, I talked about Clifford Amore doing his work. Watch him right here. He's already on the inside, so if the shot goes up, he gets it. But watch how he seals Sissoko right there inside. The ball's going to carry him off to the left. It's perfect rebounding position, anticipation, and quickness for Amore to get it up and in.
Those 2 guys, Amore from Nigeria, Sissoko from Mali, both came to the U.S. in search of a dream playing basketball in high school, and both have made it to the highest Division I level. And right now, Sissoko is going to go to the bench.
Well, that's the beauty about sports in general, to be able to create the atmospheres where you have friendships for life, provide you an education, but also an opportunity, no matter what sport, professionally, if you get an opportunity, to take care of your family.
You know what some of the teammates said, particular to Cliff Amore, is his appreciation for what he has here in America has opened their eyes to how appreciative they should be.
See, and that's the key, is that he learns a lot from being on the team, but his teammates and coaching staff and even administration learns a lot from his part as well.
Jackson Coulter's having a nice night, 8 points. He only averages 3. Mulcahy, yes. Hauser, quickly. Kohler had it but lost it. Off the pick and roll. Morey missed the dunk. He thought he was fouled.
He set that up perfectly, just not able to finish inside and right back. That's the thing about Michigan State. Make or miss, you have to be, head has to be on a swivel. You have to get back in transition and load up and create a wall. If not, the deep penetration by Hogarth that time created a foul opportunity and got himself to the free throw line.
A.J. Hogarth, second in the conference in assists behind Penn State's Jalen Pickett. He runs the ship for Tom Izzo.
A.J. Hogarth at the line for the Spartans, shooting.
He's also hit a couple of threes tonight, and that was a thing that he talked about, Hogarth, a couple of weeks ago. Defenses have been sagging off of him at times, tearing him to shoot. And he said, look, if I can just be a 35, 36% shooter from free, Jim, they'll have to respect me.
Think about his first couple of years, he was reluctant to take those type of shots. Not that he didn't have the form or that he didn't have the touch. He didn't have the confidence that he could knock it in. But once that mindset changed, he became a better shooter. Hence, it's opened up the opportunities for him to drive more, but also create some more activity off the dribble for his teammates.
Hogarth, 7 points tonight. The lead is 6. McConnell left, but he can't knock down the 3. Up top, Kohler's going to try a 3. It would have been the first three-point make of the freshman's career, but not to be.
He wanted that to go in.
He did.
He wanted that one to go in. A good-looking stroke, though.
Yeah, it was.
Good-looking stroke.
Well, he knows if he makes that one, Tom Izzo more likely to let him shoot another one, right?
If he's wide open, yeah, I agree with you.
It was only the second one he shot all year. Here's Mulcahy again, little bully ball, Jim.
But again, it's getting to angles. Mulcahy, the second time, was able to beat Hogarth off the dribble. Some contact right there, but Mulcahy has, you know, at his size, at 6'7", able to absorb that and finish.
He leads all Rutgers scorers with 10. Here's a whistle and a foul. And it's going to be offensive on A.J. Hogarth.
That's his second.
Well, Mulcahy tricky with it. Comes off, reads it. Then goes right back behind the back at 6'7". Able to absorb that shoulder contact and go inside it. Then Hogarth right here with the push off twice. That's what got the call made. And Coach Izzo is emphatically saying, don't do that. He's probably talking about it on the defensive end too right now.
Well, the relationship between those two has been well documented, especially recently, but it has gotten so much better. A lot of respect, mutual respect. Mag short on the fadeaway. Holloman slips it, in and out it goes. Back to Kohler. That was Spencer that got a hand on that.
Kohler brought it down right into the sweet spot for Spencer to get a piece of it.
And now Spencer on the other end. He still cannot find the bottom of the basket. Reigning conference player of the week, but Cam Spencer tonight is now 1 of 9.
move.
Boy, he looks confident.
No, he does, but he does a good job of feeling Amore kind of where the pressure points is at, where he can spin and get open.
Inside on the other end, though, Amore goes up, and he's going to draw the foul, and that'll take us to a timeout. Spartans by 4. Be a sub above. Talked about that Rutgers defense. How about 3 guys in the top 5 of the conference in steals?
And it's positioning, anticipation, but also notice something about those guys. They're all older players. They understand the system. They understand how to play defense without fouling, but also reading their opponents and understanding scouting reports. So that's why they're so efficient, effective at being, great defensive players.
Yeah, all those guys have played over 100 college games, talking to that experience. But this defense for Rutgers, which we talked about at the top of the broadcast, Michigan State at times has shot it really well. They're 7 of 15 from deep against the Scarlet Knights.
Well, when you move the basketball, because this Scarlet Knight team wants to take away the drive, they're going to shrink in a little bit more, then they're going to close out and force you to have to shoot over a contested hand. You play into their defense when you slow it down and you don't make quick decisions with the ball. Either I got a shot or I'm going to pass it or I'm going to drive it. Once you slow it down, the length of this defensive team becomes in effect. And as a result, it's going to be a tough time scoring the basketball.
Amore just hit 10 points after those free throws, and now he'll get a breather.
Right now, Rutgers 8 for 10 from the free throw line. The point we haven't mentioned, look at the score. Michigan State right now, 12 bench points. Okay, why is that important? Only 4 against Purdue in their loss. So +8 right now above all of that, getting support, especially with Malik Hall not being able to play.
Yeah, they're missing 10 points with Hall on the bench, not to mention his great defense.
Yeah, he's on the bench in street clothes.
Yes, for the 10th game this season. Here's Tyson Walker giving it up, getting it back. High arcing 3 off the heel, but Akins grabs it. Sissoko caught the fastball and laid it in.
Now, the issue sometimes you have when you come out, Steve Pikel came out in the 2-3 zone. When the shot goes up, you're in the space and you don't put a body on your opponent, it opens up, and that's what happened to play out for Michigan State. Offensive rebound and the putback, Sissoko inside.
Those were the first second chance points tonight for the Spartans. Hyatt in and out. Battle for the board. What a job by McConnell. He got it to Woelfel. Count the bucket, but that was all Caleb McConnell.
It was just anticipating, where the ball was coming off, and McConnell smartly, watch him right here, as he grabs it, falling, left hand, gets it over. And that time, Woelfel able to finish through that contact. But these are the kind of tough plays and tough twos that Rutgers is accustomed to making.
And now Woelfel, the backup center to Amore, who plays 9 minutes a game. Got his first bucket of the night, but he can't hit the free throw.
And Rutgers right now, season high 15 offensive rebounds. And that results in the 13 second chance points. That's how you stay in the game when you're not shooting the ball well from the perimeter.
Now the whistle came before that shot. They said count it, but they're going to review it.
Yep.
There was confusion, and they're going to go to the monitor here.
Let's take a look at when as he pushes through. Yeah, it's going to be after the shot. I mean, the shot was after the foul.
There's the contact with Hyatt just shoving Carson Cooper. Let's listen in for the whistle on the replay.
I don't know. Now, when you listen to the whistle, he's already in motion, Walker, of shooting, but they did call it underneath, out of bounds. Because there's that delay, too, when the official wants to put his hands up in the whistle.
The official, DJ Carstensen, just came over and said what Jimmy just told you, that there's contact before the shot. Yeah.
And even the delay in the whistle in regards to Walker getting the shot up, it all goes back to when the contact occurred.
Tyson Tyson Walker, 9 points all the first half. Again, he had 30 in that game against Purdue. Highest output for the Spartans in a couple of seasons since Cassius Winston. Now Aikens off the bounce. That's pretty, but he missed it.
And beautiful way to probe right there. Aikens falling a little bit to his left, took a little bit off that shot, but I like the aggressive move off the bounce.
Driving baseline, high and everything but the finish. That's one that Andre Hyatt certainly wants back.
Cassius Winston. Is it me, or does Trey Holloman have like a little bit of Cassius Winston-ish stuff?
Same number, headband.
And the long sleeve.
The long sleeves. And he has had 3 really nice assists tonight, too.
Yep.
Strong rebound for Hyatt. Tom Izzo says Holloman's going to be really good. Just a freshman from Minneapolis.
He does have that Cassius Winston feel to him. Oh, beautiful play by Aikens.
Aikens, chased by Mulcahy, throws it down. Timeout Rutgers. Level Tom Izzo once, but tonight they've looked pretty good.
They have, once they settled in, especially in the first half, to create some opportunity. Tyson Walker, active hands, didn't get the steal, but he created a turnover. Now the active hands once again allows him to get the steal out in transition. Matty Sissoko comes over, and then on the last play with Jade Aikens, we saw this, able to get out in transition. And that's so good and so positive, but despite all of that, check this out, Rutgers is still only down 4 points. So what we're saying is that the defense is anchoring this Michigan State team, but yet still Rutgers has an opportunity in the 2-possession game to take the lead.
Well, every coach talks about playing Rutgers being like a root canal. They just will not go away.
Nope.
And they just wear you down.
Well, if you're in a dogfight, you're going to go to Piscataway, New Jersey, and kind of find some of these cats to roll with.
That's what Matt Painter said after he played him.
Well, that's what I got.
He said if we're going to war, we're stopping off at Piscataway to get the Knights.
That's right.
Spencer with another miss. And now a scrum. Tie up in the arrow will send it the other way.
Well, what Coach Pico has created is a culture of it may not be pretty, but it's going to be effective, and you're going to have to beat us for the full 40. And you're going to recruit and bring in players that embody that. And now each opponent understands what it means to play either at the rack or on the road when you face this Rutgers team. You know, you're going to be physical, you're going to have some bumps and bruises, but can you mentally be strong enough to kind of fight your way through it to walk out of the game with a W?
1-7 of their last 8, the only loss in that stretch against Iowa. Now ranked for the 3rd season under Steve Pico. Kohler gets a friendly bounce. He's in double figures.
That time Amori reluctant to come out of the lane, and you got to know, I know Jackson Kohler has to put up a lot of points, but that's a career high of 10 points, but he has a soft touch. Able to knock that one in on the baseline.
Spencer still cannot get on track offensively. Now the shot clock down at 4. Amori, air ball. Kohler and number 15 Cooper have given Tom Izzo some pretty good minutes off the bench.
They really have defensively able to guard Amori one-on-one. Now Amori has some offensive rebounds. That's to be expected, but you're not getting beat up in the paint in regards to Amori being able to score a lot.
A.J. Hoggard gets a screen. His 3rd 3 of the night. Inside, great pass. That stops a 7-0 run. Michigan State had grabbed their largest lead at 9, back to 7 here. A little over 10.5 remaining at the Breslin Center. These two teams will meet again in early February at Madison Square Garden. Well, they gave it right back to him. And Aikens misses. in the lane, no. Michigan State won the first 11 games in this series, but Rutgers has won the last 2. Both of those, however, were out in New Jersey. They've never won at the Scarlet Knights in this building. Akins, open look. In and out. Double comes. Mag finds Spencer. Spencer got it back. Boy, he just cannot buy a bucket. Another Rutgers offensive rebound, though. They're 17th of the night, and we got a timeout.
Home cooking. Home court advantage for A.J. Hoggard. Listen, 23% career three-point shooter. Already has been able to knock in 3 big ones for Sparty.
Playoffs presented by Inuit TurboTax on Fox starting Saturday. Eagles and the rival Giants at 7:30 Eastern, then Sunday. Dak and the Cowboys. Classic playoff rivalry against the Niners. 6 Eastern, all on Fox, the Fox Sports app. By the way, one of our refs tonight is Michael Irving, not to be confused with the Cowboy great, the playmaker.
You seem like you're a Cowboys fan.
Well, my parents live in the Metroplex, but I am not.
Do they?
But I'm neutral.
Where they at?
They're in Fort Worth.
Okay.
So they go to all the games.
I got you.
So they cheer, but I don't know. I just like to see good ball.
All right. Okay. Where did Weezer your way out of that? Blame it on your parents.
Who's your team?
Steelers, baby, all day.
Yeah. Who do they play this weekend?
See, I knew it was going to come out. I knew you were.
I like the Steelers, though. There's Cam Spencer. Man, wow. This is another one.
But how about Steve Pikel drawing up the play to get Spencer a clean look, which he had.
And then Amori finishes off another offensive rebound. Yeah, I mean, look, Cam Spencer's going to keep shooting, and Steve Pikel wants him to.
When you have high-quality looks, it affords you the opportunity to knock it in. Now, maybe he doesn't hit it now, but you got to keep that confidence because it could be a time in this game where it's an opportunity. Despite him not shooting well, they're going to go to him. And you got to feel confident that you can step up and knock it in, despite not shooting the ball well through the course of the game.
And he hit 2 game winners. The big one at Purdue to knock off then number 1 Purdue. Also at Northwestern, where his brother Pat played, hit a winning shot there.
Well, what's the commonality in those 2 wins? Road wins.
Yeah.
That's right.
He's a confident young man.
Well, if you had a stroke like that, why wouldn't you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tough shot.
Yeah, Walker can't get it. Mag with a rebound. Okay, he off the window. And this time, Michigan State grabs it. Hoggard right to the rim. Blocking foul, 2 free throws.
Rutgers this close to getting another offensive rebound, and as a result of not getting that, now the defense has put it in a compromising position where it's basically a 3-on-1, 3-on-2 fast break advantage to Michigan State. And Hoggard does a smart thing, attacks the paint.
Michigan State, he's shooting 2.
Hoggard, the junior from Coatesville, Pennsylvania, outside of Philly. Home of Rip Hamilton, of course, played at Connecticut. Number 32 jersey, retired for the Pistons. Used to work out some with Rip Hamilton. He's got a lot of advice from him when he was younger.
Wise man to listen to.
Yeah, pretty good counsel right there.
No doubt. You know, the thing about Hoggard, too, you pointed it out about the relationship between himself and Tom Izzo, is his maturity to now listen and accept criticism and coaching. And that comes with time, because as a player, you have all this confidence and you feel you can get things done, and you don't want to be corrected. But when you accept being coached, and we've seen this with point guards over the years with Tom Izzo, the outward battle. But once you learn that, your game goes to another level, and your leadership skills also take a huge jump. And we've seen that with A.J. Hoggard.
A lot, as you're pointing out, a lot of the other guards that have come through this program, too.
Yeah, they all got a piece of Tom Izzo.
Yes.
All of them got a piece of it.
The Watt Mag.
Wow.
Nice mid-range jumper. Up ahead, Sissoko, tough catch. Around the arc, wide open, Akins. Cliff Amore in a little pain. They're going to stop play, and that'll take us to the under 8 timeout. Spartans up 8. We'll check on Amore when we get back.
To a basket, but in this particular case, it doesn't. But what happens, it opens it up. 4 Rutgers players are now sunken below the free throw line. If you see the check marks right there, now it's a 2-on-1 on the weak side. Once the ball comes out, Hauser, Akins in the corner. So the advanced pass can at times get you a layup, but also forces the defense to react. And now if you make quick plays, you can get an open shot, i.e. what happened on the last possession by Sparty.
Cliff Amore on the bench now. He took an elbow in the neck on the previous possession. They reviewed it, but they said that it was harmless, so there was nothing flagrant.
It wasn't harmless to him. They got hit.
Correct. Yes, didn't feel very good.
No. But it was a basketball play in which it happened, hence that's why it wasn't a flagrant foul. Because usually, always got to go back and look when it's initiated above the shoulder. So
Amore won't be on the bench long. 12 points, 11 rebounds, another double-double. McConnell, yeah, that was beautiful. Simpson, easy lay-in.
Well, great weak side action that let Simpson get behind the defense because of the dribble drive by McConnell, and heads up play, nice dime inside.
6-point game, 7.5 to go. Akins, the sophomore from Farmington, Michigan. Can't get it. Hauser's the one that knocked it out. It belongs to Rutgers.
And think about this. Michigan State up 6. Despite Tyson Walker probably over. Last field goal was 6:18 left in the first half. Now, at any given time, what I like about it is that he hasn't forced the situation, though, to try to score the basketball. He's allowed his teammates and the offense to work for him and for the team.
The clock didn't start, so they're trying to get that situated before we resume play here. Yeah, but both leading scorers, Walker, quiet, but as you said, hasn't forced a shot. Cam Spencer, though, leading scorer for Rutgers, but he's been pretty much non-existent. 2 points, 1 of 12 from the field tonight.
But again, how many of those 12 shots have been open shots, too?
Yeah.
I mean, shots that he normally would knock in. So if you're taking the shots that you normally take, you can't be too upset that you miss them, because you know that the frequency will balance itself out eventually.
McConnell gets in the lane and had it stripped by Walker. Walker missed it after Mag fell, and now Mag grabs a rebound. Baseline drive, Simpson rejected by Kohler, who continues to have his best game of the season.
Wow, you talk about making an impact on both ends of the court. Jackson Kohler, that time in prime time position, straight up and down, able to take away. It could have been a nice layup for Derek Simpson with the block.
Four-star top 100 recruit, had offers from all over the Big Ten, elected to come play for Tom Izzo. He's got a season-high 10 points tonight. Shot clock at 5, Hogarth, pretty.
The patience that time by A.J. to kind of snake his way through that pick and roll, maintain his dribble, and then find just enough space to get 2 feet in the paint and ultimately a layup.
Michigan State's largest lead has been 9. It's 8 right now. Simpson step back 3. Off the mark. Rebound Kohler. Rutgers cannot find the stroke from deep. They're 1 of 16. Now they're just going to Kohler on the offensive end. Well, he got a great look. Spencer. They're going to need him to start hitting some shots, but instead, he turns it over.
Well, you know, one thing about Jackson Kohler, that was up to the coaching staff earlier, Michigan State, about getting tough twos inside, or you can dump it down to somebody. He's going to be able to develop that in his game, because when you go through the ruggedness of the Big Ten, you want to have a post player that, when you're not shooting the ball well from the perimeter, can I dump it down and kind of cure some of the ills of not making jump shots and getting tough baskets, and he has that type of game.
Hogard now into the corner. Hogard gets it back, and Amori grabs a rebound back in the game after his breather, and then he's fouled.
He grabs it between three Spartans. Boxed in, but not boxed out. Able to get inside. Watch him right here. Just get in between Wedge's way and secure it.
They got that on Hauser, and that's his fourth. There's still 4:41 remaining. It's also 17 fouls, so a 1-and-1 for Amori.
This is a 74% free throw shooting team. Amori is only 62% from the line, so by that, you get the right person charged with that foul.
Cliff Amori missed the front end. Michigan State with a bucket would grab their largest lead of the night. Rutgers led for 14 minutes in the first half, but since then, Michigan State has been in control. Here goes Walker. Can't get it. Kohler. A whistle and a foul against Rutgers on the floor. It's on Hyatt.
Another rebound for Jackson Kohler. Now that just adds to his career highs in points, rebounds, and blocks in his first career double-double. But right there, the dribble penetration. And the coaches talk about it all the time. You have to leave the body of somebody, and that time Kohler able to extend another possession for the Spartans.
First player from Utah to ever play at Michigan State, Kohler. Tom Izzo may be going to Utah more often now.
Not just for skiing.
Bumped by McConnell. 6 fouls on Rutgers, and we've got our final media timeout with Michigan State trying to get back in the winning column.
12 rebounds, 5 blocks in Saturday's win over then-ranked Wisconsin. It was his 3rd straight double-double. Next up for the Hoosier Great, 13-win Illinois. That's coming up next, but first we take you back out to Brandon and Jim.
All right, Rob, Rutgers down 8. There's only 4 places in the Big Ten that the Scarlet Knights have not won at on the road. Ohio State, Illinois, Michigan, and here at the Breslin Center, where they're 0-6. If they want to get that first win here, they've got some ground to make up with 4 minutes to go.
Well, what's in their favor is this since Big Ten play, and maybe my math is all right here, but Rutgers is 3-1 in one-possession games, and those games happen to be 3 of those on the road, okay? So it bodes in their favor in regards to being, well, 2 were on the road, Northwestern and also Purdue. They won at home versus Ohio State in a one-possession game. So they've kind of been in that environment. They understand what it feels like, and I'm sure they're confident they can do it.
Right now they need a stop. Kohler, 2 more. Largest lead for the Spartans. Amori with a deep post touch. Can't get it. And taken away by Akins.
That's a beautiful play, beautiful post up, but that's where Amori, because he's so strong, that's where he has to develop that touch to be to softly lay that ball in.
Rutgers, though, is shooting less than 33% from the field tonight. Akins with 5 to shoot. Kicks to Hauser for 3. by McConnell, but Michigan State right now, everything going their way.
This is the difference in the game. The dribble penetration, because you know that the rotating defense of Rutgers is going to suck in. You have to find the openings in the defense, but you have to deliver the pass right now. Sparty is 10 for 20 from behind the three-point line, opposed to Rutgers right now struggling all game, 1 of 16.
Yeah, that's the biggest story. And Michigan State in no hurry, in firm control here at home. Bad pass, and then a foul. Walker bumps into McConnell.
Number 2, Tyson Walker, that's his third.
AJ got caught up in the air that time, and as his momentum is moving right, that threw the pass a little bit long outside the outstretched hands of Tyson Walker, who was open at the top of the key. Don't want to give any kind of life to this Rutgers team, because now you're able to score the ball at the free throw line while the clock is stopped, which is very important for Rutgers if they want to get back in this game.
You mentioned it, Rutgers 74% at the line this year. That's the best free throw shooting team they've had in 3 decades.
A little 1-2-2 with 1-2-1-1 press.
And Hogarth needs some help here. Now Walker will work it across. Knocked out. Okay, he hit it.
Michigan State basketball.
Michigan State, you can't be tentative with the ball right now. Be assured the passes, use ball fakes, because you know that Rutgers is going to be overly aggressive to deny the passing lanes. You just can't assume that your teammate is going to be open.
And no need to foul on this possession, right?
No, because right now you see if you can get a defensive stop, and right there, McKay, he didn't want to do it.
No, he didn't. That will put Michigan State at the line with 2 minutes even on the clock. And you put Hogarth at the line, who's a good free throw shooter at 83%. He's been there more than any other Spartan this season.
I know he wished he could have this couple of free throws back against Purdue, and it happens at times despite what your free throw percentage may be. The pressure of the game at times can get to the best of them. But a learning experience for one of the more veteran players here for Michigan State.
That was a game here Monday it looked like Michigan State would get, and then Edey got the game-winning bucket in the closing seconds. Michigan State had won 7 in a row. Now they've lost 2 in a row, but they're up 13 inside of 2 minutes.
Quick hitting plays if you're Rutgers right now. Time is your enemy.
Precious seconds ticking away. McConnell rejected by who else? Kohler. This has been a coming out party for Jackson Kohler tonight. And Rutgers electing not to foul again on this possession, just playing defense. Hogarth penetrating, kicking, open look, Walker, got it!
Now, see, Tom Izzo didn't tell us that he was going to unleash Jackson Kohler tonight. See, he kept that a secret from us, but what an effect he's had on the game offensively and defensively. And A.J. Hogarth not panicking with the shot to go down, and Tyson Walker completes the deal with the open three-point shot. Izzo loving every bit of it right now, knowing how tough this game is against this Rutgers squad.
And now Sweet Caroline serenading here at the Breslin Center.
Dun, bum, bum.
How about Kohler? 12 points, 11 rebounds, 3 blocks in 22 minutes. All of those categories are career highs for him.
But that's why you have to maintain the right kind of mental focus to stay ready, despite maybe your minutes and playing time not being consistent. That means working on your game, at practice, after practice, keeping yourself in condition. Because Jackson Kohler played 22 minutes. If he doesn't condition himself, he's not going to be able to be effective in those 22 minutes, and he's not going to be on the court. So give a lot of credit to the training staff, but also to Jackson Kohler himself for not going into a doldrum because he's not playing.
Another turnover, and it has just not been Rutgers' night, especially here in the second half.
Well, I'll give a lot of credit to the defense that's been applied by Michigan State as well.
And now Rutgers, though, does get the ball back. Spencer driving. Finally, he gets a shot to go. But it's looking like too little too late. Just the second made field goal for Spencer.
Hauser gets caught by picking up his dribble and getting active hands, and Spencer, despite not playing well, beats baskets for him. Anything he can make now moving forward is a good sign for him because he hasn't played well, hasn't shot well, but even to see the ball go in at the end of the game can give him a little bit more confidence as the next one comes up.
The Breslin Center did not like the timeout there called by Steve Peichel. None left for Rutgers. Upcoming schedule. So Michigan State looking like they're going to get back in the winning column. That would put them 5-3 in Big Ten play. And Sunday at Indiana, Iowa, Purdue, Rutgers again at the Garden, and then Maryland. Oh, that's an easy 5-game stretch, right?
Yeah, I would say that you could probably go 5-0 easily in that. I mean, really, at Indiana, Iowa at home is not going to be a joke. You see, the Purdue game, because of what happened through the course of the game, did Zach Edey have a hook and hold and they didn't call it? Things that happen at the end is going to have a little bit more something on that game. And then Rutgers, listen, we all know how tough Penn State is. At Iowa, Minnesota's taking it on the chin right now. And then Michigan State and Indiana, you know, Michigan State again. But it doesn't get easier. I think if you look at the SEC, you look at the Big 12, Big East, you look at the same thing. The teams at the top, challenges, because there's not a lot of separation within the conferences where teams are just that much better above and beyond everybody else.
And Purdue atop the league. You mentioned they're taking care of Minnesota tonight. Just one loss for Purdue that came to Rutgers at Mackey Arena in early January. But it seems like Purdue right now has been a little bit better than everybody else, but they're vulnerable too. It's going to be very interesting these last 2 months of the season.
As teams that are able, despite having a young backcourt for Purdue, they play smart basketball, in particular in late game situations, able to finish those type of games. And when your backcourt is young, you got to rely on some other veteran players, which they have, and some outstanding coaching that puts them in a situation to complete some games when it's, you know, a little bit tougher down the stretch.
Akins is trying to call a timeout, and it was granted to him by the official Michael Irving here.
Timeout.
13-point lead for Michigan State. And Jackson Kohler, 12 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 blocks tonight.
You've seen some glimpses of what he can do throughout the course of the year on the offensive end, maybe sometimes not finishing some plays, but the footwork, the IQ, the positioning on the court, where to be, when to be, the timing, all of those things have happened, but now we see a confluence when it's all come together. Why? He's had extended playing time. Tom trusted him in the meat of the game to keep, because he didn't hurt you on the defensive end, more importantly. And on the offensive end, he gave you some offensive rebounds. And when you needed a tough basket inside, he was able to provide that as well.
He said as a kid in Utah, he used to watch videos of Hakeem Olajuwon and write down his post moves and try to mimic them. Now, look, he's not Hakeem Olajuwon, at least not yet, but playing pretty well tonight.
Well, I'm sure his parents, father, said, listen, take a look at this Hall of Fame player and what he was able to do with his footwork.
Pretty good guy to mimic. Inside Kohler, instead of taking the bucket, kicks it out. Everything going right for the Spartans. And Spencer hits the three, just the second three that Rutgers has made tonight in 17 attempts. But it's not going to matter. Michigan State is going to stop their mini two-game skid. And Rutgers still has not won at the Breslin Center. 0-7 here. Spartans by 13. Third-ranked win of the season for Tom Izzo and Michigan State. And Rutgers, who came in so hot, winners of 7 of 8. And being in the top 25 for the first time this year, but they felt they only shot 34% from the floor. And that'll do it. Spartans 70, Scarlet Knights 56. Coming up, our Hoops tripleheader continues. Illinois and Indiana. For Jim Jackson and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaud. Let's go to Rob Stone in Los Angeles.
All right, guys, there is the Texas Tech transfer, Terrence Shannon. He leads Illinois and is 5th in the conference in scoring. The Illini, they look to make it 5 straight wins next as they host Indiana. Tip-off just about 5 minutes away. 5 ranked teams lost last night. That trend continuing early this evening. Rob Stone, Casey Jacobson, LaValle Jordan here with you. The Spartans behind guard play, 3-point shooting, and a certain freshman's emergence, able to get win number 13.
Yeah, how about Jackson Kohler? Rob, you know I love surprises, right? I mean, basketball surprises, let's be clear. But I thought Jackson Kohler really came out and played. And this Spartan team needs a low post presence. Mady Sissoko is their starting center, but he's a little bit stronger than Kohler, but he's not the offensive presence that Jackson is. 12 points, 11 rebounds, 3 blocks. He's got great offensive instincts, a scorer's mentality. And I know not every single night is going to be like this for Jackson Kohler. Again, he's just a freshman, but it's so much fun for us to get a glimpse, just a small glimpse of what he can become.
Look, I thought Coach Izzo did a tremendous job of scheming against the Rutgers defense. When you play against Rutgers, it's the ball movement and the player movement was outstanding. Their zones, their tags in the pick and roll, the way they see cutters and play to connect it. The ball has to be off your hands quick, right? You got to get guys moving in space. Michigan State tonight, 19 assists on 26 made field goals, right? And so I thought A.J. Hoggard was tremendous when it did get a little stagnant. He had 16 points, and he had 7 assists. But you also had Joey Hauser with 4 assists, Jaden Akins with 4 assists. So I just thought the way they schemed and moved the ball, guys were shot ready when they caught. They didn't overdo it. They kept it simple. And against that Rutgers defense, that's what you have to do.
Well-rounded effort. They snap a 2-game losing streak. Let's hear from Coach Izzo, standing by with our Jim Jackson.
Thanks a lot, Coach. A tough-fought win. You knew coming into this game how physical Rutgers could be. Started off kind of slow. After that first time out, what did you tell your team to kind of get back involved?
Because he's a hell of a lot better coach than I am, because we've always relied on toughness and rebounding. We got our butts kicked in that first 10 minutes. I mean, it was just one after another after another. And I give Steve a lot of credit. He's done a hell of a job with the team and the program. At the same time, we did bounce back, after another brutal start. So I don't know why the starts are so bad. I'm done with pregame speeches.
But listen, now see, we're close friends, and I'm a little upset with you. You know why? Because at the shoot-around, you didn't tell me you were going to release Jackson Kohler today, and it's a complete game. But talk about a little bit what he was able to bring to the table. Plus, you kept him in the meat of the game.
Yeah. Well, I fooled you, Jimmy, but not very often. But in all seriousness, Jackson has been playing better, and so has Carson. Tonight, Mady struggled, boy. That big guy took it to him, and I give Jackson credit. He did a heck of a job. We did a pretty good job. I don't know what the rebound total ended up. They still out-rebounded us, but it was a little more human. But that's a good team, man. Don't kid yourself. That's a really good team, Jimmy.
Well, thanks a lot, Coach. I appreciate you. Congratulations. You got it, brother. You got it.
The rematch Saturday, February 4th, live on Fox from Madison Square
Let's go.
Garden.
Yeah.